we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, welcome, folks, to episode 16 of To Be Named Podcast. And, let's start by saying that this is going to be the Cyberpunk extravaganza. We are also giving away a copy of Cyberpunk on the PS4. I don't know if anybody would have won it, though. You will have to tune in and wait to the end, though. At some point in this show, there's going to be a way to get the game, and we're going to mail it to you. We're going to explain how to get it, but I ain't saying it right off the bat, because then you sons of bitches tune in, you get your game, and you run out of here without a light. So if you want the game, stay tuned. I got to lure people in here with a carrot. All right?
No one gets it. Can I have it?
So, folks, oh, man. It's the biggest thing in gaming right now, and it's what we're all talking about. And, Cyberpunk is here. Cyberpunk is here. Cyberpunk is here. It is here.
It is here, and there are naysayers. There are people who are enjoying it. I'm one of those people who is very, very much enjoying it. The funny story I was going to tell Jason beforehand. So I put about 17 to 18 hours into the game. As I'm going through and exploring many of my options, so I started playing as like a corpo guy, and I started playing as an outlander. Today I realized that because the way the saving system is so fucked up in Cyberpunk, that dude that I spent multiple hours playing is now gone to the abyss. So now I'm restarting it all the way from the beginning. I'm now at level 4. I was at 31. But
I don't understand. You lost your character saves?
Yeah.
Because of the autosave feature.
It keeps autosaving, and then it autosaves so much that when it gets to a certain point, it just erases it completely.
Cyberpunk.
Even with that being said, like, I have no issue doing it. I had so much fun just going around, just doing the side missions. I would get lost doing that for a minute where I would forget that, oh, shit, this is the one game that I can say I've done more side missions than main story quests.
And that's exactly what this is. And I think I'm having a lot of fun with it. Now I'm playing the PS4 version on my PS5, and there's, it runs. It's not graphic. You're not going to go and run and tell anybody how great the graphics are, because they're not good at all. I mean, there are some good textures, but a lot of it is bad. The patches have made it better. I have not ran into any game-breaking bugs yet, and I do get lost. And I see a lot of people saying how this may not be a mainstream RPG. And I think if you're not in the mindset of like Skyrim's one of the best games of all time, this is probably not going to be your forte. There is an amount of freedom here. It's like Breath of the Wild. And I think the same people, and I've had discussions with my friends, I think the same people that were intimidated by Breath of the Wild's go anywhere and do anything you want right off the bat, they're going to have that same feelings in this game, but now in a city. And your fucking phone's ringing, and you can text people, and what's going on over there, and what's going on.
You get lost.
I've played for 15 hours. I've never went back to my apartment yet. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, you can decorate with your guns. I'm like, I've never been back there.
I haven't done that yet.
I've just been strolling around the city like, oh, there's trouble over here. Go over there, kill them, take their new loot. You
get better loot every time you do a mission.
I like that it has a little bit of the, you can pick your way, but also it has that Skyrim. The more you do things, the more experience you're getting into those things, and that's what I like. Do a little hand-to-hand, your melee will level up. Shooting some pistols around, and everyone's like, oh, the gunplay's broken. No, the gunplay is very tied to the stats in RPGs. As you unlock and get better, the gunplay gets better. So
I'm noticing that right now. Actually,
if those things aren't, if they don't interest you, and if you want a game where someone's going to hold your hand through it, this is not for you.
No, absolutely not. And I can attest to that because as being right now having to restart it, my level 2 handgun skills are not compared to my level 12 that I have with my level 31 character. So I'm at the point where I have to actually. I meant to grab my sword. I had to go back and grab my sword because my favorite weapon to use in the entire game is my samurai sword. By far the greatest weapon to use. And
A
I will
ball
use
back.
I will use no. I will use my samurai sword that I get that's like really crappy from the beginning until I find another samurai sword later in the game because that's how powerful that thing is. I'm invincible with a with a sword in my hand.
Hmm.
I'm that kind of guy.
I've been rolling with a big electronic shotgun, and then whatever, like a machine gun or some kind of AK or Uzi, and then a ball bat because I use it in case I want to just knock people out. A couple whacks of my bat puts you down.
There's something about open world RPG games like this that I can't pretend like I'm Zero from Borderlands 2 and use melee and use a pistol. It's like I have an AR that I always have on me in case, but I'm only find myself using either my pistol or my sword. I
And I
love
think
it.
that's the beauty
It's
of it. And
so much.
really, really, I don't want to give too much away about, you can pick your beginning three. There's three different like backstories that can kind of give you. I don't know enough on where they all collide, and eventually, I'm sure we go along. Everyone meets along as some sort of main mission path. Um,
It's just the intros, like your beginning
yeah,
parts.
and you
So
have
I being someone that's
dialogue
played all three of
options.
them, I played all three of them. It's just kind of it's different. So if you go from playing a street kid to go into a corpo, the whole beginning's a little bit different for you how you go and start off your journey.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a right way or a wrong way to play this. I say your best playthrough and everyone's most fun playthrough is going to be the very first one where you're going through and you're experimenting with things and going, oh, I like this.
Yep.
Maybe I must put a couple points in here, and vice versa. And but there's going to be this in a few patches. This is going to be the next Skyrim. People are
Oh,
going to
for
be
sure.
modding this game for the next 20 years and next 10 years at least. Once it gets a couple mods. But here's the problem. We talked about this since the beginning of this show with when is it coming? Oh, they maybe I don't know. It wasn't ready. It's obviously not ready, and everyone boo-hooed. And I believe they wanted to make that Christmas rush. And here's what you get: you get a broken product.
And that's no fault to CD Project Red. That's more so due to the manufacturers and the demand for it.
Well, I
If
can
they
also
if they
see
would
them
have
getting
had
it
like
out.
an
Here's the other thing:
if they
it's
would
so
have went to
close.
2021 though, it would have been so much better made of game. Like I said, I didn't have the issues because the PVGA and the kernel was so nice enough to buy for me for PC. So I haven't had all the issues that everyone was having on console. But I feel as if on console you released it in 2021, you wouldn't have as many unhappy customers as if you do.
Well,
As you,
you're damned if you do, if you're damned you won't. They sat here and said it's going to be ready when it's ready, and the people weren't happy with that, and you know, we shouted, and everybody, stomped their feet, and now here's what you get: you get a game that's that, and then hey, either wait for the patches, petition to get your refund, which Sony has said that they're open that up, and they don't want to do that.
and they actually took it off the PlayStation Store.
It's down off the PlayStation Store now, and I mean, in my history of the short digital history of video games, the digital history, it's rare. I mean, they wouldn't give people their money back for fucking No Man's Sky, you know? So it's kind of what I expected. I don't know. It's definitely an ambitious game. There are some basic things that are broken. I think it'll be a lot better. And I kind of, just how I feel about it right now is I'd like to just wait till the PS5 version comes out and then just upgrade my version, start the whole thing over again. Is probably what I'll do. And
So it's like
that way I can play it and actually ogle over some graphics, not be disappointed. It's 2020. And I'm one of the people that supported it and said, take all the time you want. And well, listen, it had to come out this holiday season. They needed to cash it in. They needed to get this money. The patches are going to come. What they say, January, February. Yeah, because you don't want to. You just beat the hell. We've been beating the hell out of this staff all year. Let them go home and enjoy the holidays, and then get back in January. Let's bust out some patches and get everybody happy.
I agree with that. And also with it, what was I gonna say? I was gonna talk about basically my mindset on this game was I loved it to the point where it, and I've been on Facebook saying it is probably my top 3 favorite game at this moment in time. I don't know where it falls in the top 3. I haven't put that much consent into it, but it's definitely in my top 3 because that's how much I haven't been enjoying it personally. I haven't enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed a single player game like this since Fallout 4, which ironically enough sold more copies on Steam, or the highest selling game on Steam since Fallout 4.
And I mean, I does it have that potential for me? Yeah.
Oh,
From what
for
I've
sure.
seen so far is that I'm really nothing's really broke me out of the immersion yet. I just again I feel like how many things am I seeing that are broken right now, and I just don't even realize like that could have been something cool, and we're not even doing it now. And it seems to like I don't know if I want to go through the story. I don't know if I want to like put any more progress until they fix it. And I think that's a good sign because I don't, I want to see what this game fully has to offer. But they're saying like a lot of the systems they touted that being in this game where like the cops could be bargained with. Like the cops are just like GTA cops, like and they do appear like I can appear
Pretty
behind, they can
much.
appear in rooms with me too, and I'm like,
I
what? They always know right where you are. And I mean, yeah, I've had people I've tried to talk to just disappear.
oh wow, I never did that.
I've seen floating guns that like look like they should have been on someone's hips, and then I ran into a lady that didn't have any like upper legs, but she had bottom legs and hips. So, um,
I think there's 2 bugs I think I've seen. One was I think my car was kind of all effed up. But there was a scene with Jackie Wells where he had his like he did. I think his gun was in his hand, and somehow it went to his head through his head, kind of like those little like gun. You know what I'm talking about? Like the little gun props will have like a gun on this side, and then like the barrel on this side.
it's an arrow actually,
Yeah, but I'm
right?
thinking of the gun version of it.
I've
Anyways,
never seen a gun version. You
I
mean the
have,
gun, the handle's here and the barrel's out the other way?
yeah,
Well,
and
that doesn't make any sense. It would be an
that
arrow
makes
coming
perfect sense.
in.
What the fuck
I
do
mean,
you mean?
a gun doesn't kill you, the bullet kills you, Greg. An
Okay,
arrow
what's
going
fun
into
about
your
it?
head is supposed to
It's
be
about
the.
someone taking a long ass fucking revolver and jamming it in your fucking skull like this, and then pulling it came out the other side like the arrow. Anyways, that's the only glitch that I think I've had.
All right, folks, it's been a good episode. I think that we've heard enough here.
Still a great game.
Here it is. We can never get the color fully right. What is this? The deluxe edition comes with a couple Blu-rays, World Compendium, stickers, postcards, game maps, a bunch of junk for you junk collectors out there. A bunch of junk in this one, and for what it is, folks, if it does interest you, we'll be giving away this bad boy sometime during this show, telling you how we can get this baby. I'll get it first of all. I'll get it. We'll clean it up and sanitize it.
Of course,
right?
we're
And then we're going to ship it out to the lucky winner. The story, I enjoy the setting of Cyberpunk. I like the Shadowrun, the sci-fi, the Blade Runner style. It does feel like this world is living and breathing. I haven't really tracked. I usually track NPCs in open world games to really see if they have like daily agendas or they're running on loops, because they always tout this, and I don't think that the AI is quite right with the people yet. I would like to interact with a lot more people other than walking up to them, hitting square, and them just saying like, hello, and then that's it. It's like I would like to be able to talk to more people. I understand that too, But driving around in the car is cool. There's motorcycles; they're cool. There's a lot
Motorcycles
of
are
cool
cool.
here. There's a lot of cool here, folks. But I just think, don't get your hopes up right now. Let's just all wait. Let's just all wait. And I think come March, April, we can all talk about that game. And if we even want to, because by then I don't know, it could be old news by then once it's fixed. But I don't see that being the case here.
I don't see it being like a Fallout 76 situation. I feel as if, like you said, like after the holiday break, they're gonna get a couple good patches in for all the console players, and I think they're gonna start enjoying a little bit more. It's not an Anthem. Like, let's get that out of the way right now. I don't want to go ahead and say this game is an Anthem. Anthem was a complete and utter flop. If you still play Anthem this day, Godspeed. But I wouldn't consider it like I would consider more like a Fallout 76 right now, as far as like turnout, rather than an Anthem. So I don't want people getting in shade on the game because it really is a fantastic game
Well,
that you have to put time into, but there are
yeah,
bugs and glitches that do make it unplayable that I've seen going through videos over YouTube on PS4, Xbox glitches going on with the game. So I can get that. That's why I'm glad I have it on PC.
I don't. I don't think Anthem. Anthem was at fault. A big victim of its marketing, and was marketing incorrectly. Like it was marketed to be the next big MMO Destiny killer and blah blah blah. And I think if we just said, "Hey, you want a game where like you have some cool armor and you can do some things in it," and with a multiplayer drop in, I think that would have been a whole different. Anthem would have been a whole different thing. Anthem was more of a dying light, okay, than it was a Destiny, and we're still having trouble swallowing that pill. This isn't something that's going to be. This isn't an online game. This is a single player role playing experience that can be patched and DLC can be added. I'm sure multiplayer could be added, but that's not this game. If you came here looking for multiplayer, if you're sad that Cyberpunk doesn't have multiplayer, you missed the point of playing Cyberpunk.
They're actually pushing back the multiplayer function they were going to incorporate to get back to focusing on the actual bugs and issues going on with Cyberpunk. I read a report on that as well.
I think some sort of mode. I don't want a multiplayer mode where I see other people, but I would like something like the Nemesis system from like Creative Ways from like the Middle Earth games, or Shadows of Mordor, where like maybe a boss or something. If there's some random NPCs in here that can come after you, like they said they could if you get too powerful, but like no one's seeing any of that.
I'm saying wait it out. I know, like I said, right now I think I'm a level 3 or 4, and I'm going through it, and I love it. I can't say how much I love it more than that. So if you guys are sticking it out with it,
I feel like
props to
my dad asking my nephew questions. What'd you like about it, Greg? What do you like about it, Greg?
Honestly, I liked everything. There wasn't anything about it I didn't like. The character customization is so much fun to use. The gunplay is fun.
Let's talk about that character customization for a minute.
Oh, you want to talk about the big dicks you can have? My dude's got a big old dick.
Yeah, I guarantee.
I
guarantee you would do that too.
Well, I mean, this is the ghost named Greg in an alternate universe where he actually doesn't suck at everything he does. So he's got a big old dick. He's a ladies' man. He's got crazy eyes. The eyes are.
That's probably the problem in the real life is you think you need a big dick and crazy eyes to get women. I should say, folks, that we found Greg's problem here.
Nah. But
right,
like how they did a lot of the eyes and how they kind of like they made like a swirl. They got this one looks like glass shattering, and then like you kind of tell if you really look at it, you can see where the eye, like the middle of the eye, would be there moving around. It was really, really cool. It's definitely something different that we've never seen in a game before. Maybe some contacts in GTA Online, but then again, you're not focused on that too much. Something I would like to see in the game, though, I would like a third-person view at some point, hopefully.
in the car. Like when I
Now,
got
did
into
they
the
have
car
it?
at first, I
Oh,
was like, I fucking hate driving like in my car. Then I was like, I
oh,
finally
okay.
found how to change it because that was gonna kill me. I need to be behind the car to see because how
Yeah,
else
me
do you
too.
see in a game?
Oh, that's Grand Theft Auto mentality right there for me as well. So
You know,
I would like a third person view because my dude looks badass. I want to check him out.
well, yeah, but it's a first person shooter, so maybe a mode like maybe like I can pull my outside of my character for a little bit and move around. I could see that. I guess they do it in Skyrim and Oblivion and all that
Well,
shit.
that's what I was thinking. Also in Witcher too, because even in The Witcher, can't you get first person in The Witcher as well?
I don't think. No.
That's interesting. So they went okay.
It's third part, which is always third. I
Well,
believe.
that's another reason why I thought they were going to have a first person and third person view
Well, I
because
think if you want to do the sneaking and things like this and really make it, I think if you really want to go for true RPG experience, you have to go first person because there was something that slightly disconnected me from being Geralt in The Witcher. I didn't like something about that third person. I liked it, but it was a disconnect, and it was a deep heavy role playing game. And I would rather be my own creation, just like you made Future Cool Greg. I made my future son, who is also a silver tongued devil from the future in the corporate world who never met his real parents. You
oh, you're
know,
a corpo?
I'm a corpo.
Of
Of
course, you'd be
course
a
I am.
fucking corpo.
And I use my corpo knowledge to get me out of a lot of hijinks. You know, old me and Jackie go through a lot of hijinks, and I get us out of there. You know, but let's just look at the back of the box. It's something I want to do, and I wanted to see if this is a fair statement because we've seen here that we've a game that anybody that gave this game an award other than biggest anticipation, because right off the bat the cover says 200 one over 200 awards. Well, how the f is that possible? What awards did you win?
I don't know, dude. I don't get that about a lot of games when they say, "Oh, we won all these awards." I'm like, did you just come out?
And everyone's saying this is not the game of 2020. This will be the game of 2021 if it gets its shit together. Night City changes everybody. Agreed. Yada yada yada. I don't want to give away any of that. Ugh.
Night City is it's the
The
same.
back of this cover looks beautiful, like the graphics, and you're not even getting that. Like some of these graphics here, like that looks like the PC, and like I just knew when they had an embargo on the PS4 and 5 and the console footage, I just fucking knew something was up, and I just hate to see Project Red. Uh, this is the situation we end up. Obviously, they didn't want it to go this way, but I mean, whatever, you know.
Well, no, once a game that's been that anticipated, delayed 3 times when it's finally released is what it is. You
Yeah,
know?
and I just kind of want to say, look, I understand it sucks. Listen, it sucks. But in the world we're in the year we're all having as a world together, I feel like a game that came out and it's not quite what we all wanted, but it's gonna be.
The only
You know what I
person to
mean?
see that light like I do is Jason, and that's why him and I are the dynamic duo here on the To Be Named podcast. You can't break us apart because we're too tight.
No, and I mean mentioning. Well, I tell you what, tight is one thing that definitely I'm not, Greg, when it comes to anything. But I tell you what, and I'm going to take segment. I'm going to take the segment of the week and the segue, maybe of the year, and say I'm not too tight, but I definitely am a little too sweet.
Ooh, okay, that was smooth.
And folks, while you're still here with us, I am Jason Swinchard,
Smooth.
JS_Havoc. Make sure that A's a 4. All right, Greg. And that over there
Never
is the
forget it.
ghost named Greg. In case you didn't know, Greg, who you were.
Ghost
The
with them.
13 people listening didn't know. All right. This is Greg, and we're here at the To Be Named podcast, folks. It is the Cyberpunk episode, but we're also talking about shit that's never happened before in our lives. I've never seen PlayStation Network offer refunds for a game, and you thought you'd never see Mr. Omega put the old Bullet Club back, boys. For life. Oh shit, Gregory.
I loved every second of that. Plus, it will be, I think it's the Hard to Kill. It's going to be Rich Swann and the
And
Motor
the
City
gun.
Machine Guns versus Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers.
I was hoping Kenny would give Rich a little bit of that arrogant WWE smell, just because of his NXT run. And I think he was main roster run too, wasn't he, Rich
Oh,
Swann?
yeah, he was Cruiserweight champion.
Yeah, so he was at tournaments first time I ever saw him. It fucking blew our mind. Rich Swann's great.
Rich
Machine
Swann.
Guns are fucking no slouches in that ring. One of my favorite tag teams of all time, the Guns. So you
Swann.
throw in the return of Big Doc Gallows, and I loved it. I loved it. And even when Callis was like, you know what, I don't like to throw my EV power around. Like, if you watch Carl, like, you have to watch it multiple times because they're all saying shit and doing shit. And Doc's like, oh, we know you don't. We know you don't, buddy. Like, and then, like, fucking Anderson's pointing at the screen, giving all the fucking Bullet Club shit. Like, too sweet for life. Fucking.
Yeah, when he was like,
yep, just throwing it out there. Like, how does this work? And did you watch Don? Don was like he was trying to do it too, but he was confused. He was like, yeah, we're back. Yeah. Fuck. I'm just hoping that Kenny's not setting us all up.
You can never know what Kenny Omega's doing. That's why he's the best ever. The best tag team is the Young Bucks. The best wrestler in the world is Kenny.
I'm just in a world where Kenny's with the Good Brothers and not with the Bucks is an alternate reality that could have been very true. And I love to see where it's going right now. The golden screw job is what they're calling the win over Mox, which is probably really old news now to everybody, but also the big screw job in IWC with Jock Sampson's surprise opponent. I mean, this is what happens when we miss a show.
Yeah. They only win when the regulator when you're there, the regulators win.
When I'm there, the regulators, they can feel me in the stands. There's only one fucking two people cheering, and it's me and Josh. And old Sampson got cheated. The year-end awards are up to vote right now, folks. I mean, if they're still up by the time you read this, we're going to try to get these out at almost every other Friday, and then every other Friday in between will be a Friday night main event. So we're going to start really putting a set schedule together for the podcast. But a lot of crime. Did Patch beat Bulk? I don't know if he did.
Not 100%.
If anybody knows, comment underneath here because I don't know how that match went. I know Jacques Sampson was screwed. That's what I Sampson.
Either way, the Tasmanian Devil's on top again for the second time. I can't be mad at that.
I guess. But he ain't listen.
He did say he wanted a title shot. He got his title shot and he made best on it. What can you hate about a guy who made best on his opportunity?
My point being is that no matter what title you have, if you're a pro wrestler, you're in Kenny Omega's world. Okay? And the collector can come for any title at any time. And maybe he's not even the cleaner anymore, Greg. Maybe he's the collector now. Maybe he's the collector now.
He might. You know what? You may be the first person to break that right here, right now. He's no longer being the cleaner. He's now the collector. You said that. He
had that whole speech on I was collecting comic books. Now I'm just going to collect the titles. I'm like, this is the fucking collector. We're seeing maybe Kenny's new form, maybe his final form, but
I would say new form. I feel like his final form is something way better.
I love whatever this is. I love the attitude. I love the American audience to see the heel that we've loved. I just want to see more Kenny Omega doing his Kenny Omega cleaner shit.
Knowing Kenny Omega the way I think I do, Kenny Omega is gonna do a formation like a Frieza or Rosell in Dragon Ball Z, where he has probably 3 forms. We're only seeing the first one.
I don't think Kenny's going back to video game roots in his characters. I think I don't think he wanted to embrace the Bullet Club shit. He's went on to say that at first, but I think that it's the most. I think he learned that in himself that he's a way better heel because his performances are top notch as well. A heel that can out wrestle anybody is a piece of fucking gold. It's a gold, Greg. It's gold. Look at me when I say gold.
We're
Boy,
talking
gold.
about Kenny Omega. Anything you say is gold. Speaking of gold, tag team title gold up next week. It's going to be the Young Bucks versus the Acclaimed. The Acclaimed is a team that's been mainly featured on Dark. And I think they're okay. They got a nice little swagger to them when they come to the ring where they can do this little rap thing. I think it was more like, maybe like 10 years ago, it'd probably been more popular. But they do show some pretty good athleticism in the ring, and I feel like it's going to be a good test for the Young Bucks to go against a young tag team like the Acclaimed. The tag team division in AEW is only heating up more and more with even teams like Top Flight, who are going to be going against Chris Jericho and MJF next week as well. So that's going to be very interesting for the Holiday Bash. That I think this won't be out. I think whenever the Holiday Bash is out, but it'll just be on the lookout for that match because it's going to be exciting.
The problem with the AEW tag team division is, per Professor Swindrock here, is that we're verging on almost too many tag teams right now. I mean, can we let fucking Private Party and we're finally got Jack Evans and Hideko back, the Hybrid 2, which is one of the best tag teams in the fucking world, period. Those two are one of the two best wrestlers in the damn world. Singles, submission. That Angelico is amazing. South African kid, huh? Did you ever look in his eyes? They look like Charlize Theron's eyes. She's South African too. All right, I don't know if you know that.
No, I did not know that.
He's beautiful, and I mean, the rhythm, the dancing, the lanky big man working style, that little Jack in his mouth, he never shuts up. I want more of these guys before we throw more and more in the mix. And here's the other thing about the Young Bucks. Pick a fucking heel or tweener or fucking face, because you're going to go heel and super kick everybody to get the fucking belts and now flip-flop back to face like, oh, we're going to go help the little guys again. Like, I don't fucking get it. Like, so you acted like babies, got your title shot, got your belts back, and now you want a baby face again after everyone saw you act like fucking babies? Like, I don't get the fucking, I still don't understand the whole elite, everything in that. Maybe I'm not, I'm not interested. I'm not fucking interested. I want to see Kenny, Carl, and Doc beating people up. Hashtag beating John Cena up or beating whoever up. And that's just what TNA is giving me right now.
If you pay attention to the Young Bucks, I feel as if they are teasing a heel turn soon. And I feel like it's going to come down in the hands of Kenny Omega facing someone for the AEW title. And out of nowhere comes the Young Bucks to super kick whoever Kenny Omega's facing. And then the Elite go out together in a bang. And maybe even the Good Brothers come over. That's what I'm thinking. That's Bullet Club. That's the Young Bucks. That's Kenny Omega.
Listen.
So
no.
you pay attention,
if you want to talk about what's Bullet Club.
The whole thing you're talking about was what they did with Kenny, because there was at one point, remember when Kenny beat out Marco Stunt? Look what happened further down the line from that. This is all just planting seeds.
But listen, that's all long-term storytelling. I love it. But let's not also say that that's not Bullet Club, because Tama Tonga, the bad good guy Tama Tonga might tell you different. He might tell you that Bullet Club is him because he's an OG.
He is
and AJ Styles could say that. And Adam Cole and Jay White could also lay that claim. And Jay White actually posted on Twitter a picture of all the old leaders and everybody except fucking Evil, the new leader. But there's a faction over there too forming. And Tama Tonga not too happy that Kenny said Bullet Club. He made took some shots at Kenny too, because remember we never got to see the Elite Bullet Club civil war that we were gearing towards here. Yeah,
but also wasn't Carl Anderson one of the original members as well?
Carl Anderson, Tama Tonga, Bad Luck Fale, and
Finn Balor.
Prince Devitt.
Prince Devitt.
a prince. Do you know why he was called the prince in Japan? This is an actual fact.
Oh, how about you spend some knowledge for the fans?
What's Finn Balor's real name?
I have no idea.
Fergal Devitt, okay? His name is Fergal. All right? Some sort of Scottish Ireland Fergal. Fergal. Japanese people can't, like the promoters said, Japanese people have trouble with that F, and the promoters said they wanted to make him a face, so putting him and just saying Prince, is still a big thing. So then it became Prince Devitt, but because Fergal was tough for the Japanese audience to pronounce, and the bookers thought that would be easier for them.
I never knew that. That's very interesting.
Speaking of other facts, Greg, and I had to cut them out of the previous show, so I have to include them in here real quick. But speaking of facts, ding, 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 ding. A few weeks ago, we talked about the $6 Million Man, and you and him having the same sounding super abilities. If me and you were building the $6 Million Man today by current inflation and the growth from the 80s to 2020, or maybe that was the late 70s, it is actually... it would cost us $30 million to make the $6 Million Man today. So it'd be the $30 Million Man. Okay? There you go, Greg. Couple other show facts is you finally got your Frank the Tank video up. All right? Let's learn live on air. Where's the video of the cat at?
Oh, he didn't have his video.
Oh, so you should have got a picture of him and just put a picture there. Then
I was trying. That's what
we could have looked at a picture.
I tried finding a picture. I couldn't find.
Folks, let's look at Greg and give him some homework next show. Let's have him put a picture of somebody into his podcast if they can't be available for video. All right. Other facts: my nephew Damesian has his first video review up. Get on the Inertia Global fan page or the Inertia Global YouTube. Check it out. Also, I have a new YouTube channel, just strictly JS Havoc Gaming, Greg, and we're just doing amazing things, clips and tricks and stuff that none of you could do out there because I am a better gamer, period. So if you want to watch me play Devil May Cry and get 3 S's, all right, 3S fucking combos, I can do it. You want me to get number 1 and Dirt 5 on every race? I can do that, okay?
There's no questions to ask. I mean, what do you want me to do? That was a mic drop.
That was a mic drop.
That was a fucking mic drop, but I need to pick it back up because we still got some more to discuss, I'm sure.
Well, as far as things coming into the PVGA, we understand the situation. We're still under lockdown. The world now knows that he was called into the show last week and made the man with a match with me. No doubt I'll have to agree to a whole bunch of stupid stuff.
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see
what's
what's
allowed.
Looking
forward to that.
We'll see what's allowed and what's not allowed. And like I said, if it's worthwhile to me, because I don't have to do anything. I really don't. It's not affecting me if he doesn't put the flagships videos up. I have a rematch coming up with that punk who got the trainer now, Blank Bandit. And I can't help it. I beat him every other way with Sunday. But let's not figure out. I got a rematch with him coming up still. And if that doesn't get played, now you're cutting into the champ's pay. And then now we're going to have a serious problem. Okay? So either way, the situation is going to come to a head very, very, very soon. Anyway, folks, here's how we want you to win the game. All right? All you have to do is share this podcast, okay? And then in a week from now, so if this comes out on a Friday, all right? A week from now, we're going to be going back and just say, hey, tag us and say, I shared it. And then I'm going to go back and look. And whoever's share has the most interactions, like people that shared off of you, I'm counting all that, all the likes, all the comments, that's going to get you a point. The person with the best share that has the most interaction, you're going to get a message from me asking you for your address. And if you're bold enough to send it into this show, I mail you out this. Na 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 na. Sing it with me, Greg. All right, you know who sings "Kiss from the Rose"? Who sings "Kiss on a Rose from the Grave"?
I don't know.
seal. All right, this is sealed. Oh boy, Greg, you're slow, brother.
Dude,
Boy, get on the
I would have never guessed that.
It's fucking Friday at 7. You gotta, if you're smoking the indica, might need a little sativa.
I'll tell you right now, the only thing I've been vibing to is the new Kid Cudi album, so I didn't even understand what you were even going with. I know the song.
I don't even know what the fuck you just said.
You don't know who Kid Cudi is?
Do you know who the Mandalorian is?
The Mandalorian?
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
I know the show.
So, okay, 1 point for Kid Cudi for you, and then I know the Mandalorian.
Right. I know who the Mandalorian is.
Listen, the Mandalorian, best fucking show, best episode ever was today, the series 2 finale. Woo!
I haven't watched any of it yet, actually.
What, Greg? Listen, I got to get out of here tonight. I want to go play a little sack boy here with my 5, maybe with my lady, maybe with Big James. We play a little online here, you know what I mean? But hopefully we'll get this mess figured back out with the PVGA, folks. I have a rematch coming soon with a blank bandit. If you want to see, a lot of people say, Jason, are you really like that fucking good at video games? Check my shit out. The only thing I can sit here and brag, and I can say, go look at my fucking records on Sony's tournament walls. And, I just want to put it out there, put it out there. So there it is, Greg. You're always busy. You're always working on something. Good Lord, if the world would see it once. I don't know what's going to happen, folks. But should you do something, where could they find it?
They can find it on...
Your microphone just fucking cut out, I swear.
No, it didn't.
I swear to God, it just cut out. So say that again. Because you're fucking touching it.
I didn't even touch it.
Everyone saw you just touching it. That's why
I just touched it now because you said it didn't work, so I had to fuck with it.
Oh my God, where can they find it?
You can find me on Twitter at the ghost named Greg, and then I think we have testing on the RP City this week, so I'm really anxious to get that finally rocking and rolling.
I came across some Dirt 5. I'll be racing all week because I'm a natural born race car driver. I love now off-roading in this game. It's the most beautiful game I've seen so far in the 5. I found Pastry Kings on there. I'm trying to get in a couple races with him. He was posting like, I shall post all my videos better than him. You might see the birth of PVGA Racing, hashtag PVGA Racing, coming soon, because put me in any vehicle. Number 1, son. Hey. All right, brother. By Cats, Coffee, Satan, and Spells, Jason Swinshot gotta get out of here. Greg, you gotta go too, I assume?
It's like I gotta go. I have a meeting around 9:30 tonight with the development team on the city.
Ooh, folks, sounds like important, and I guess there's many ways to say bye, but nothing more appropriate than saying, hey, Giant Patch. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, folks. Game over, yeah. Bow, bow, bow.